the mass media headed by the PNM Guardian and the PNM Guardian Media Limited, and Norman Sabga the third, the PNM Guardian Media Limited, the PNM Guardian newspaper, you see, and you hire Asha Javid. Look, for example, the Guardian newspaper, somewhere, somehow, they say that they did some poll where they asked the population to choose the top woman in the country who you love and adore. And somehow, Christine Kangaloo get number one, you know. Christine Kangaloo, Garcia Kangaloo, Christine bias, total, oppressive president of the Senate, Christine Kangaloo, who get her work because Rowley pushing it, because she's a Rowley, because Rowley pushing politics. Christine, you know about the red couch, past the tree, you walk down the steps, past tree dog. Then you go down a bit further, past a parrot, go into the dungeon office, and a bright red couch. Did you ever have a meeting there, Christine Kangaloo? So, Guardian, Christine Kangaloo beat Patrice Roberts, Naira Blackman, Destra Garcia, some of our female athletes. What? Look, movie now. And check the Guardian. Well, this is the Guardian again now. Leave it, bring it back. Bring back Sabga, Norman Sabga the third. And why not tell you, boy, when you see me, whether in the band, carnival, walking in the road, jogging, just walk past straight. Don't bother to come and talk to me nothing. Right? Because you're a waste of time and you're dishonest. Because you're telling me that I lying on you, that you are balanced, you are impartial, your Guardian media that had the Jamaican woman, a PNM Jamaican, that go and get a PNM losing candidate to put them on the Balize brew in the morning. And your editorial position time and time again is past illogical. And now you hire the one convicted journalistic liar with conflict of interest inside, outside, upside down, lying down and she back. You hire she as a political investigative editor-in-chief, and you put back Sabga, and you telling me that you are not PNM and you are fair and balanced. When you see me, boss, Joe him say good morning, forget that. Just walk so, look so, there nothing to tell me. Alright, because watch this part too. Mr. Guardian Media Limited, fair and balanced. Our country has a problem with governance, says some individual. And talking about our country has had a problem with governance. We see that at the national level through successive governments. We see it in the Tobago element with the recent fiascos. They didn't see fiascos from 2003 to 2000 when was our election? 2021. They didn't see that. They didn't see the Scarborough Hospital. They didn't see the Shaw Park thing. They didn't see the Buku goat race thing for 100 million. They didn't see meal serve. They didn't see $24 billion flitted away by PNM. But this person printed in the Guardian come to say successive governments, poor governance. Kamla Prasad Bisesa, one person for one chairmanship of one board. Kamla Prasad Bisesa, one person on one board. Kamla Prasad Bisesa, no friends, family, no family members of ministers on any board whatsoever. Kamla Prasad Bisesa, no ministers recusing themselves for contract. Kamla Prasad Bisesa, tender committees, tender board, tender advertisement. If it's not done properly, redo it. That's Kamla Prasad Bisesa. But somehow you found somebody to write in the Guardian to lump PNM and everybody else together. When the PNM under Keith Rowley is the most oppressive, dictatorial, corrupt government in the history of the Caribbean. And those who say all government does thief, really? In 5 years and 5 months, the first 5 years and 5 months of Keith Rowley's term, he spent $325 billion. In Kamla's 5 years and 5 months, She spent $310 billion. But you got 106 schools, Rowley 0. You got highway to point 14 reach quite down in Penal Day. You got sport aquatic center, tennis center, national cycling velodrome. You got roads, smooth roads, and WASA and Works and Ministry of Works and Transport working together. You got money, you got increase in gate from 300 million to 726. You got created 55,000 jobs. Petrotrin was open. Money spent across the board. You got community centers, fire station, police station, all of these things. Salary negotiation across the board for 15 billion less than Rowley. But all your PNM come to say, oh, somebody else thief. All you look in the mirror and look good, eh? So this Guardian Media Limited finds this man to say, well, all the governments are the same. We see it now at the community level and the municipal level. I wonder who Guardian Media Limited would be trying to pass off as some bastion of integrity to analyze and to try to impact the mind share of the population as an election has been forced. The Prime Minister has been forced to call an election and saying no election observers, while the niece of a former sitting cabinet minister is in charge of the Elections and Boundaries Commission. The lady is the best friend of Bundles from St. Augustine Girls High School. Bundles being the current deputy political leader of the PNM and the current Minister of Education, the total failure, fostering all sorts of nonsense in our school. Who did this? Guardian find a man who, for no reason, would attack Kamala Persad-Bissessar and the UNC at every juncture. But then something happened also. Derek Ramsamoose, you know. Ramsamoose, but Ramsamoose, you ain't get charged in Suriname for something? For what? How you reach back? Mr. Norman Saab got the third. Put back Norman Saab got the third. Find out what actual criminal charges this man who you are promoting in your PNM piece of propaganda nonsense, Derek Ramsamoose in Suriname, find out what kind of criminal charges he is under before you print him in your toilet paper. And remember, when you see the Douglas, close your eyes and walk straight, and rest me, because you're sickening. Heroes Foundation, BBC World, questions, empower young people of Trinidad and Tobago. You all know who is the Heroes Foundation? Asha Javid was boasting all over her face. Oh, it's such an honor. The BBC sought me out because of my track record. Oh, they read the Sibalak Singh judgment where the judge was very harsh on me and called me dishonest, called me incompetent, called me wicked, and put punitive damages on me because I lied in a newspaper called The Express on Sibalak Singh, the former CEO of the EMBDC under Kamala Persad-Bissessar, and many other things. But oh my goodness, the BBC, they just thought this Asha Javid, who make children for this one, and then when he come into mining children, horn he with a small pin, Asha Javid, who saw the clause, the non-disclosure clause or non-negotiation of those sell to Venezuela clause in a contract that had been executed 23 days before, she laid down on her back with small pin and saw the clause. Nobody else has seen the clause. This Asha Javid. She says that the BBC sought her out and selected her from a pool of Caribbean journalists and so on to be in some BBC thing that's going on. Really? When I look carefully, it's the Heroes Foundation of Trinidad and Tobago. You know who's the Heroes Foundation, who came up with the concept, who's the main man, who pushed it from way back in 2001? A fellow called Philip Julian. Who's Philip Julian? Philip Julian is the son of Ken Julian, PNM Balizane Rice, down the board. The Heroes Foundation is PNM. The PNM select Asha Javid. The PNM Guardian select Asha Javid. And Norman Sabga III have the audacity to tell me that I just make up thing on he and he is his newspaper and his company. That's why you all lost $8.5 million. And this year, I promise you, you're going to lose $14 million. You understand me, brother? When you see me, what to do? Walk straight. Don't even recognize my face. PNM, Mitchell, $4 million still to be released to NCC. Remember, we come to tell you, invigilators, the people who walk during carnival and thing, they even get paid yet. We in June, you know. He now say the government is going to release money to pay these people. I guess according to him and Colm, these people don't need the money they worked for because they haven't received it, and then they are going to tax them on top of that, and it's fair. It's fair not to pay people, and then it's fair to tax people that have not been paid, according to Puss in Boots, Randall Mitchell, and Colm the Dwayne in Butt. And some of you vote for that. It's amazing, isn't it, when you break it down to facts? Now, 3 received SABGA Caribbean Awards for excellence. You see how in life you could be fair, balanced, and know about propriety and merit, and then when PNM things get involved, you get confused, disgusting, sickening, and biased. The SABGA Awards, well, the same, he father and them, so it's all SABGA, but he's the CEO now, but them, the other SABGAs in the picture there, right? Norman the second and so on. But understand this. The Director of Women's Health at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Ade Sergio Singh, is one of the 3 recipients of the Anthony SABGA Caribbean Award for Excellence, and $500,000 for their contribution in various fields. Fantastic. That is a man who deserves an award based on work, based on performance, based on education activity. See, merit is good. Excuse me. They held the awards at the Center of Excellence, right? The other laureates are Joanne C. Hillhouse from Antigua and Barbuda, Dr. Mahendra Prasad from Guyana, right? I went through all of their resumes, and the SABGA Caribbean Awards Committee is fantastic. These people deserve the award and more. Well done, well selected, based on their performance, how they did, what they did, their contribution. It is totally deserving. Okay? So how can SABGA Awards be so good and then with Guardian Media Limited be so rotten? And to answer, I say PNM.